guys, this is Mindy with Tankin with Men's. We are taping part 2 of this series, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so here we have Jason pressure washing the tank as well as the background. It's kind of nice when you're pregnant because you don't have to do these sorts of things. You get to sit back and watch.
Yeah, apparently sit back and let me talk too. So here's the deal. We're taking all the sediment off the base of this background. We do the rocks, the tank, the background once, twice, 3 times if we have to till it runs clear. The neat part is this allows us to put this right in the tank and it not to be cloudy one bit. So if you're having some issue with the background, maybe you should rinse it, soak it, do what you got to do once or twice, wipe it down and do your thing. The tank was filthy, so I had to do that a couple times. This is the kiama with base. From the background to the rock. This thing is amazing. I wish I had it for my tank. My wife picked it out. It is a heavy silicone made with real rock exterior. And there are actual rocks inside. And it helps to keep it weighed down inside the tank. I am showing you that there is absolutely no grit coming off of this rock. It's pretty neat.
Alright, here we have Jason who is leveling out the tank stand because it is very important to make sure that we have no issues with leakage or the sturdiness of it. And as you guys remember, I said if this tank ever collapses, Tankin with Men's is over.
I don't necessarily know if it'd be over, but here's the deal.
Yes, it would be.
Whenever you're setting up a new tank, you have to make sure that everything is level and square. I'm talking inside, top side, the floor that you put it on. If you don't, just like Mindy said, you can have a major issue in the weight displacement of that water based off of an unbalanced tank, causing some seals to bang. From the stand to the tank, everything has to be completely level. And as you can see, I have my trusty...
Were you leveling your arm?
I don't know. So, level the top of the tank, the inside of the tank, the left and right side of the tank, and you should also level the stand. The key is making sure everything is almost perfect, because if it's not, you could risk the inevitable of the explosion.
Which can lead to a divorce.
Really?
Well, I'm just saying. Or the ending of Tankin with Men's.
All right, moving along from the leveling to...
Hold on. So, the camera adds 10 pounds, right?
I don't know, 25?
Okay, wow. But when you're pregnant, I'm pretty sure it adds like 100 or something. Just...
Okay, so we're putting the background in. Well, I am, because clearly I have to ask for help. Oh, there you go. So, when there is no water...
Whoa, Mr. Hey, I got this. Don't worry.
So when there's no water, there's no sand, and there's no fish, putting a background in is 99.999 repeated % better to put in.
And it's better on your marriage.
So it's better on the marriage. Man, this kiama with base already looks super
all about that base.
Awesome. Okay.
That base.
I'm in this. There it is. All right, moving from the background to the filter.
Yeah, those were Raisinets. I like to eat Raisinets when I'm watching stuff.
Yeah, lame. So here's the deal. Cheapo Plastico on the back of the Sun-O. But here's the deal. Yeah, but here's the deal. If you do it properly, they will not move about like most people will tell you. If you utilize the suction cups, as you can see, I can't utilize them in the tank. You can utilize them on the back of the tank.
Hello,
what is that crap?
How are you?
Here's the deal. Use those suction cups on the back side of the tank to hold the hoses and or the input and output of the Sun in place. Right now, I'm actually just instructing or teaching Mindy how this whole thing works because she is completely green when it comes to all of this.
As green as that tubing.
Okay.
What?
I do like Sun's tubing. Thank you for pointing that out. I do like Sun's tubing because you can see when it gets completely nasty. Yes, it's green, but you can see the debris build up, and that's when you know you either got to clean the tubes or, yes, replace them. So, did you learn anything from any of this?
I did. There's a lot more to setting up a tank than I thought. It's not like a beta or a goldfish tank where you just fill in the bowl and then switch it out whenever it gets dirty. I learned a lot about the intake and the outtake and media and what it does and the good bio and all that other stuff. You were actually a good teacher.
Thank you.
When you want to be.
Well, I'm going to clarify for the rest of the community, since she doesn't realize that goldfish happen to require a heck of a lot more than what we learned when we grew up.
Well, not in my elementary class, it didn't.
So if you're looking for some sweet goldfish, check out Joey Mullins, King of DIY. He's got an amazing goldfish setup. I'm not a huge fan of goldfish, but it almost makes me want to set up a tank.
Okay, maybe I meant feeder fish then.
Comments. So we've got everything pretty much. Okay, she finds one piece of silicone on the front of the tank. All right, so now we're putting in the rocks. Everything is plumbed up into the point where we need to add the filters. All right, really this Hello Kitty thing's getting old. So I have no idea where I'm at right now, but I know that I don't like Hello Kitty. So I've got everything squared away. We're getting ready to add sand next, and I added 1 cup and then the whole bucket.
Yeah, that 1 cup was a little pointless.
Yeah, so now it's starting to take shape. Let's move on to the next stage. So now that the stand is in, we've got everything squared away. It's already looking pretty freaking epic. But we've got the hoses.
Holy colic.
That's right. Yes, you have a colic. So we've got the hoses being plumbed strictly to the Sun 704 Bravo. A review will be coming on that. And let me tell you, I think you're going to be pumped for that review. But we've got all of the sand locked and loaded. I'm cutting some tubing to make sure that there's not a lot of slack because otherwise this thing won't prime.
Ladies, if you have a craft room, do not allow your spouse to use your crafting scissors because they will split in half like no other.
Lame. So yeah, I broke her scissors. But here's the deal. We got the hose in 100 feet from the bag.
Colic. Woo.
So we brought in 100 feet of hose. It's working out really well. The sand was already established in another tank prior to this, and so was one of the Sun 304 Bravos that we're not even going to talk about because the seal busted on it, and we had to use both of the brand new 704 Bravos on here with the media from one of the seeded filters. What does seeded mean?
Seeded means established.
Established. There's already a ton of beneficial bacteria. Mindy is absolutely learning a ton of new information, which is awesome. Tank is filling up rapidly. I don't know if it's because we fast forwarded this thing or if it's 75 gallon just doesn't fill as fast as a 220.
I'm with both.
So we've got to cut everything for the glass lids, make sure everything is right. This thing has to be perfect because, well, it has to go in the craft room, and if it's going to stay there, it has to look awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the finished product, y'all. Folks ready to see it? Woo. Let's go. Well, before you get to see the tank lid, I wanted to show you some of the additions that we made to this puppy. Look at that canopy.
Look at that Hello Kitty.
Okay, so Mindy wanted to add some hardware based off of somebody that had said, add some hardware, and couldn't be more happy.
I think it was an excellent suggestion.
It was. And then we added some push-button, battery-operated LED lights that go on the inside. Yes, there is a towel there, and there is a reason, because the 304 Bravo basically exploded on me, and it was all over the place.
Tankin with Mins almost died.
Yes.
Almost.
So we added the nice hardware in the front. We also added some of the really nice bumpers in the inside so that there's not so much clank when you shut it. But the Kiama base in this 75 gallon is awesome. And that chair, perfect contrast.
It's fantastic.
All right, let's see what the tank looks like lit. There it is in all of its glory. Thanks so much for watching, liking, disliking, commenting, sharing, resharing, quoting, retweeting. Mindy?
Bye, Felicia.
Holla!